Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track for my boy.
Hey, Blake, where you at?
Yeah, I've been here harassing boys out here telling fake. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that Boston since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the peak. With little Glock by my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out man, Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sandals. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed, yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Open up and let them through, 'cause everybody.
There we go. Good afternoon. 1 minute after 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I'm sorry, 12 o'clock over here on the East Coast. Happy birthday, Sugar Ray Leonard. 67 years old today, born May 17th, 1956. Hope we have a few Sugar Ray Leonard fans out there. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences with the Sugar Man. I remember started seeing him at the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, Canada. Mrs. Knockout, let me shout out I like to get a few people bopping in here first, but if they don't, man, I appreciate anybody that does come in, man. Mad Chad, thank you for dropping by. Bruce Oil, we had to get rid of you, bro. Pigeon, I don't know if that's you or not, but shout out to you. Jose Diaz, Mrs. Knockout, Carlos, the Drunk Irishman. Shout out to all you cats out there, man. We're gonna go back to the days of. We're gonna start with his Olympics first. The first time I saw Sugar Ray. Howard Cosell was an extremely vocal backer of Sugar Ray Leonard, man. He was touted as the next Ali, and I mean, the dude was incredibly slick. He was powerful, and people loved him. I'm digging on some jazz over here, live from Smalls. That's the Vince Ekbar Organization Trio. Some cool little jive to get me through the show. Gotta have some music on here. Do a little bit of my Green Dragon. Always have plenty of water, man. Always have plenty of water in my blood boxing Fistiana tumbler here. Stay hydrated, one of your most important things. Let me do a little bit of this Green Dragon. Get my head in the right frame of mind here. The Green Dragon makes everything green in there. burns like hell. And Duran might have had a better resume, you know, but man, it's pretty hard to knock Sugar Ray Leonard. It really is, man. You know, growing up, Leonard was the fifth of 7 children born to Sergio and Gertha Leonard, born in Wilmington, North Carolina. Born into poverty, he was a ghetto boy. He knew that boxing was going to be his way out. So he was a very, very solid amateur. Started at the Palmer Park Recreation Center in 1969. His older brother Roger started first. Sugar Ray wanted to follow in his brother's footsteps. He was with Ollie Dunlap, Dave Jacobs, a former boxer. Yanks Morton volunteered as his coach. Roger showed Ray some of the trophies, and Ray wanted to get into boxing, man. He advanced to the featherweight quarterfinals in the National AAU, losing by decision to Jerome Ortiz, Philadelphia fighter we heard of. He tried out for the Olympics, for the 1976 Olympic team. After winning multiple Golden Gloves and AAU titles, he made it to the Olympic team as a light welterweight. And that was the 1976 Olympics. There were 7 medalists altogether, man. Five gold medals from the United States, man. That was Steve McCrory. That was Howard Davis. That was the Spinks brothers and Sugar Ray Leonard. John Tate won a bronze. And who the hell won the silver medal? There was one silver medal, a cat named Charles Mooney. I had to look that one up. The memory's not quite as sharp as it used to be, but it's getting there. A little bit of this mental stimulation doing these shows. But Leonard, that was going to be Leonard's. That was going to be his end of his boxing right there. He had no plans on turning pro. He wanted to go to college. His girlfriend Juanita had a baby a couple of years earlier. Leonard was waiting till he turned pro, till he achieved a little success financially. Shout out Larry James. Shout out. Thank you for coming by, bro. I appreciate that. And what happened was, there was a scandal broke because his girlfriend Juanita, Josh Eternals, shout out to you. No, he's blocked. He's blocked. I'm sure he's got 1 million accounts. But anyway, man, nothing on this internet bothers me, bro. Nothing. I mean, I get come after with trolls from all angles. Trolls I thought were my friends, and friends I thought were my trolls. But anyway, man, like I said, man, Leonard made that step to the pros. He had a change of plans, so to speak. You know, it was plastered on the front page of the Washington Star. Sugar Ray Leonard named in welfare department paternity suit. His girlfriend filed for child support, put Ray as the father. Ray didn't know about this until after the Olympics. But when he did, he stood up, man. He did his thing. And also, he was living at home with his mom and his dad. And his father was in the hospital with meningitis. His mother had a heart attack, so there was no other cash coming in. Sugar Ray Leonard needed $40,000 to pay the hospital bills. He contacted Yanks Morton. He said, I have to turn pro. He said, get me $40,000. Yanks Morton introduced him to Mike Trainer, who was a lawyer. And Trainer got 24 of his friends together. They formed a corporation. They put $21,000 into Sugar Ray Leonard. It was supposed to be paid within 4 years with 8% interest. Leonard paid it off after his first fight. They also chose Angelo Dundee to come on to be his manager and his trainer. Angelo Dundee was guaranteed 15% of Ray Leonard's purses. He made his professional debut on February 7th, 1977, the Baltimore Civic Center. He fought Louis the Bull Vega. I remember seeing the highlights of that fight on ESPN, I think it was, or no, we didn't have ESPN back then. It was on ABC's Wide World of Sports. They didn't show the whole fight. His next fight was telecast. And anyway, man, he went on a winning streak. His seventh pro fight, he fought Bobby Heyman. That's Al Heyman's brother. That was kind of a maybe a little bit poignant, because we know Al Heyman does not like boxing, and Bobby Heyman, being Al's brother, knocked out by Sugar Ray Leonard. I don't think that set too well. But Sugar Ray kept on chugging on, man. He fought a lot of tough journeymen on his before he finally stepped up, man. He stepped up. I saw the fight. He fought Dick Eklund in Boston. Dick Eklund was a tough fighter. That's Mickey Ward's brother. And Dick actually pushed Leonard down. I think it was counted as a knockdown. But he basically shut Dickie Eklund out. Then he went to Providence. I saw him fight Floyd Mayweather Sr. Floyd Mayweather Sr. was 15-1. Amazing fight. And this is where I learned that Sugar Ray Leonard was definitely the man. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard had I was sitting in the fourth row. It was a fantastic fight. It was in September 1978. That was the year of the blizzard of '78. And you know, I read it in the TV guide. That's how we got our info on who's coming up to fight. And the TV guide said that Sugar Ray Leonard and Roger Mayweather, Providence Civic Center, 5 o'clock on Saturday, September 9th. And I went to a bar. My friend Charles, he moved out to Vegas. He was retired. He was a dealer in Vegas. Shout out Nelly Content. How you doing? And me and my buddy Charles, we went up to Providence, man. We parked on Federal Hill, went and ate at Angelo's, ate a bunch of that good old wop slop that they serve up there, man, and a couple of glasses of wine, and we walked down to the Providence Civic Center. It was in the afternoon. I think it was like $7.50 for admission. Fantastic afternoon, man. I saw Sugar Ray Leonard. It was a fight that today would have been stopped a lot earlier. Floyd Mayweather Sr. You watch Floyd Mayweather now. You go look at his dad. Same styles. Same basic look. You can see where Floyd Jr. got his style. But Sugar Ray turned into a tiger in that fight. He blasted Floyd Mayweather Sr. Knocked him out, man. I saw Bruce Lee fast combinations. And after reading more about Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray was a student of Bruce Lee. He was a big fan of Muhammad Ali, and speed, accuracy, slickness. He had it all, man. He had it all. He totally outclassed Roger Mayweather. Knocked him out viciously. And I saw that look in his eye. I said, it's like when a hawk has his prey. Tunnel vision. Sugar Ray knew that Floyd Mayweather was hurt, and he destroyed Floyd Mayweather with, like I said, with amazing sharpness, amazing combinations. Jose Diaz, how we doing, bro? A little more water here. I'm thinking of a little blues in the background there. A little live music, live from Smalls Jazz Nightclub in New York City. This was taped on the 15th. Hey, my brother George Jakovic, there's the Sugar Man. Nick M's Classic Boxing Channel, the place to go to see all the fights, man. This guy's got some great stuff, and thank you guys for stopping in here, man. Just honoring Sugar Ray Leonard on his birthday. I think we did it last year, George, on the Tuesday night show, and like annually, the birthdays they come around, and today Sugar Ray Leonard, 66 years old. I'm 67. Excuse me, Sugar Ray's 67. I'm 68. Damn, does time fly when you're having a good time. But yeah, man, after that Floyd Mayweather fight, he went on to fight Randy Shields, who has a victory over him in the amateurs. Randy Shields was a tough kid. He took Pepino Cuevas 15 rounds. Sugar Ray beat him on a unanimous 10-round decision. He fought some of the usuals there. He fought a tough dude by the name of Adolfo Viruet. His brother's Edwin Viruet out of New York. Puerto Ricans out of New York City. He beat Adolfo Viruet. It was a step up. He just kept stepping up. Then he fought a middleweight, Marcus Geraldo. And I thought after that I saw him fight Geraldo and Tony Schiavone. I said, oh, he's moving up out of the welterweight division. In that anticipated fight, Thomas Hearns, who in the meantime had knocked out Pepino Cuevas. We were anticipating that shot. That was almost like a collision set to happen. He went on and destroyed Pete Van Zandt, who was the North American Boxing Federation welterweight champion. Van Zandt, tough kid out of Sacramento. Didn't pan out. Sugar Ray took him out in 4 rounds, showed amazing power in that fight, an amazing mean streak. And he went and took on Andy Price out in California. Andy Price, he went to Caesar's Palace. Andy Price from California. Andy Price was managed by Marvin Gaye. He was an up-and-comer, and a lot of people gave Andy Price the edge in the fight. They thought he was going to be too much for Sugar Ray Leonard. It was a good slugfest for 1 round, but 1 round, Sugar Ray just once again, that mean streak. He saw he had Andy Price hurt, jumped right on him, and that was it for Andy. After that, man, we had the title fight. Sugar Ray gets his first title shot. And Wilfred Benitez, the Bible of boxing. Yeah, Nelly, tell him, bro, smash that like button. I appreciate that. And that was quite a fight, man. It was scheduled for 15 rounds. Wilfred Benitez was an amazing fighter, the youngest fighter to ever win a world title at 17 years old. This was his second title. He won the junior welterweight. Now he was the welterweight champion. Beat Carlos Palomino. It was a great matchup. Sugar Ray Leonard said it was like fighting a mirror. Wilfredo Benitez just didn't have quite enough to defeat Sugar Ray Leonard. It was a great fight, but it was clearly a win for Sugar Ray Leonard. He stopped him in the 15th round. I thought the fight might have been stopped a bit too soon, but Benitez didn't complain. And Sugar Ray Leonard had his first title, the WBC welterweight title. After that, man, it was a fantastic fight. Mr. Pad, shout out to you, my brother. After that, it was a great Don King. The thing about Sugar Ray Leonard was he didn't sign with one promoter. Bob Arum put on some of his fights. Don King put on some of his fights. Cedric Kushner put on some of his fights. He was a free agent, man. Crush the legend, my brother. Shout out to you, man. That one guy, Bones, man. Thank you, cats, for coming in here. I'm just reminiscing about some of my memories with the great Sugar Ray Leonard on his birthday today. Sugar Ray Leonard, 67 years old. Bruce Gass, 68 years old. So this is why I have a bond with him, because we're basically from that same class. In this fight, he took on Davey Boy Green. Davey Boy Green was talking badass shit, man. He was making fun of Sugar Ray's tassels. Sliding counter, my bro. Salute. And there was some ill will going into that fight, man. But Sugar Ray Leonard, tremendous hand speed, one of the greatest left hooks in boxing history. Check this fight out some night. And this was a Don King. This was a great card. This is the card that had Mike Weaver and John Tate. It had Eddie Mustafa Muhammad and Marvin Johnson, and it had Larry Holmes and Leroy Jones on there. So it was a killer card. Man, I'm thinking about that card. It was in 1980. In March of 1980, just a little after I moved into my pad over here, on a Monday night. This is when boxing transcended Saturday nights. This was when you could throw a fight on during the week, and you had no problem selling out that fight, no problem showing a million views on the tube. It was a great card and a great left hook. And then after that, we saw the fight. We saw the ultimate. Sugar Ray Leonard, man, and Roberto Duran, the fight that people were screaming about. They wanted to see this fight happen. Roberto Duran, former lightweight champion, bypassed the junior welterweights, went right to welterweight, beat Carlos Palomino, who was the #1 contender, and the fight was set. This was in Montreal. This was a bittersweet evening too. I went to see this on closed circuit television, man. It was at a place called the Park Cinema in Providence. I went with my friend JR. He had his 9mm in his pants. And it's a good thing he did, man. I admit, it wasn't needed, but it was a tense, crazy atmosphere. We had the Spanish, the Hispanics in there. We had the blacks in there, and there wasn't a lot of friendliness in there. There was a lot of heat and a lot of tension, and it was hot in there too. I remember it must have been 100 degrees in there, and they were showing it at 2 locations in Providence. They were showing it at the Strand in downtown, and they were showing it at the Park Cinema, which was a little more on the outskirts. But the one at the Strand, the telecast went down, and there was a riot there. There was tear gas and cops on horseback and everything, man. It made the 11 o'clock news. But fortunately, that it was a shitty picture. But the picture was we could understand it. And on that card, man, John Tate made his comeback. They thought it was a fluke getting knocked out by Weaver. He fought Trevor Berbick. Trevor Berbick beat him up. John Tate, he was never the same after that, turned his back to get away. Trevor Berbick hit him with a combination in the back of the head, and John Tate was sprawled out. It was kind of a bizarre way to start the night. There was also an undercard match. It was Cleveland Denny and Grayson Hart. Cleveland Denny ended up dying after the fight. It was that brutal. And then we saw the brutal war between Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, man. Sugar Ray got flat-footed in this fight, man. He wasn't gonna box in this fight. Duran had called out his manhood, his machoism, and was making fun of his wife Juanita, his kid. I mean, Roberto Duran, he was the Panamanian devil. He had the fire in his eyes, and Sugar Ray fell for it. Sugar Ray got into the slugfest with him. Slide encounter, my brother. And Sugar Ray, he gave up his boxing skills and he went into the trenches with Roberto Duran. And it was a close fight too, man. It was a close fight. It was a unanimous decision, and I gave it to Roberto Duran. But Sugar Ray Leonard made a hell of an accounting for himself. Had nothing to be ashamed of. But he realized the mistake that he made. And he said to Mike Trainer, he says, "Get me Roberto Duran again. I want that fight as soon as possible." And the rematch was made. It was only 5 months later. Duran had gone back to Panama as a hero, and Duran loved to eat, man. He'd go to places and they'd gouge him with food. They'd give him all on the house. They'd give him complimentary meals and booze, and Duran blew up to 175 pounds at least. And he had to get himself down to 140 because when he was there, Duran never made a payday like the rematch. He only made 1.5 million to Sugar Ray's almost 10 million in the first fight. In the rematch, it was a little closer in there. Duran got himself over $7 million payday, and he couldn't turn it down. And this is the fight this was the no mas fight. Everybody knows on this fight, man. Sugar Ray taunted Duran, he humiliated Duran, he made Duran quit in the ring, something Duran never has done before. He did it a couple of times after that, because they say after the first time it gets easy. But Sugar Ray Leonard once again back on top of the world, man. His next fight, he fought Larry Bonds. That was for the WBC welterweight title that he regained from Roberto Duran. And I remember that fight. Excuse me for a second. I gotta blow this schnoz. I don't know if it's running or anything, but I don't want it to. Mr. Padge, yes sir, bro. Curtis Anderson. That was my brother. That's somebody who I try to live up to his standards, man, but I don't think that's ever going to be done. Curtis Anderson was a 1 in a million. Jose Diaz, 1966, he lived 5 miles from you, bro. At least 200 pounds off season. Yeah, see, that was the thing about Duran. Duran would blow up between fights. And this was a mistake. Sugar Ray Leonard, he played Duran in this fight. And like I said, man, after this fight, he fought Larry Bonds. I still didn't have cable yet. This was on HBO. Me and a buddy of mine, we went to the Biltmore, which is the finest hotel in Rhode Island. We rented a room. They had HBO there. We went to the bar. We spent the whole day there. We got drunk, ate there. I mean, this is a place where back in the early 80s, it cost you $20 for a dinner. Now it's got to be 50. But anyway, man, it was a great night. It was a fast fight. It was a TKO. Sugar Ray knocked out Larry Bonds in the 10th round. And after that, man, the Thomas Hearns fight was on. They were building up for the Thomas Hearns fight, and this was anticipation. This was picture Bud Crawford and Errol Spence on steroids. Picture it Y2K. I mean, juice to the max. This was a fight that everybody knew about. Everybody was waiting for this fight. This was two trains getting ready to collide.
Are you sure? All right, that's what I'm looking for.
All right, man. Well, I'm digging on that jazz as I'm reminiscing over here. But there was another card. Sugar Ray went and got his second world title. He took on a undefeated WBA junior middleweight champion Ahab Kayuli. This was at the Astrodome, and this was Thomas Hearns and a cat named Pablo Baez were on the undercard. This was one of the first pay-per-views. It was available in my county, not in my town. I couldn't get it at my house, but a friend of mine got it at his house. And I was at the bar. We all cruised over to his pad, which was only a couple of blocks from the bar, and we caught this pay-per-view. Thomas Hearns was on first. He did his job. He knocked out Pablo Baez relatively easily. And Sugar Ray Leonard took on Ahab Kayuli, like I said, undefeated, 36-0. Sugar Ray Leonard put on a show with Ahab Kayuli, man. He boxed, he slugged, he knocked him out in the 9th round, and he gained his second title. And a lot of people in my group, we thought, man, he's moved up in weight now. He's the junior middleweight title. He's gone after Marvin Hagler. He's gone after Lord knows, man. He's got big plans for himself. He's growing, but no, man. The Thomas Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard fight was on, and possibly one of the greatest fights of all time, man. If anybody doesn't remember that fight, man, and if you haven't watched it, then you're not a boxing fan, because this was back and forth action. Sugar Ray turned the boxer turned slugger, the slugger turned boxer. It was seesaw action going back and forth. Thomas Hearns, amazingly, Thomas Hearns, he was ahead of the cards. Sugar Ray Leonard came back.
Here's the thing.
Sugar Ray came back with his power. He stopped Thomas Hearns in the 14th. I was one of those guys who said, shouldn't have stopped. This fight shouldn't have been stopped. But then I watched it again, and because I had my money on Hearns. I thought Hearns was going to be too much for Leonard. The people behind the scenes told me, Leonard made sure Hearns was rushed into that fight, because Hearns was the one who wasn't ready. But irregardless, man, once again, Sugar Ray Leonard, he's the undisputed WBA and WBC, which was the only show in town. He's the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Hey, Mad Chad, my brother. Oh, I got to check out that poll in a little bit, man. Let me take a quick gander at that poll. Yeah, man. Let's see. We've had 20 votes on there. And Hagler's 5%. And he's followed by Thomas Hearns at 10%. Duran at 20%. 24%, I'm sorry. And Sugar Ray Leonard, 65%, the overall lead in this poll. I guess we have a lot more Sugar Ray Leonard fans in here. It could be rigged, man. This could be like the 2020 elections. Recount, rigged votes. Fox Broadcasting Company is going to get involved here. Next fight, he took on a cat named Lightning Bruce Finch. 3rd round knockout. It was on HBO. Once again, HBO was Sugar Ray Leonard was a darling on HBO. He took on Kevin Howard in Worcester, Massachusetts. I should have went to that fight, but I didn't. Kevin Howard knocked Sugar Ray Leonard down. Marvin Hagler was at ringside. Sugar Ray Leonard got up and knocked out Kevin Howard, but then something happened. Sugar Ray Leonard had the anticipation of a Hagler fight was there. People were foaming at the mouth for this fight. I mean, Marvin Hagler, the greatest middleweight of all time. Sugar Ray Leonard, maybe the greatest welterweight of all time. Lord knows, the greatest living at the time anyway. And there was a big affair in Baltimore. Sugar Ray Leonard had the auditorium filled. Howard Cosell was there. He was going to make his announcement. He was going to announce this fight. People were foaming at the mouth for this bad boy. And Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler made his, everybody made their announcements, and then Sugar Ray Leonard came up and he said, biggest fight in the history of mankind. He was really pumping this fight up. And then he said, but unfortunately, it's never going to happen. And he took all the air out of the room. It was like, whew. And Hagler was pissed. Hagler came up from Brockton, Massachusetts, took that long ride to Baltimore. Me and Mad Chad, we took that long ride. We know what it's like, man. His bubble was burst. Sugar Ray Leonard said it's not going to happen. And Sugar Ray Leonard retired in 1985, 1986. For 3 years he was retired, almost 3 years. He came back. He came back and he challenged Marvin Hagler. Hagler took on John the Beast Mugabe. Sugar Ray Leonard was at ringside. He said he saw a weakness there. The weakness was maybe Marvin Hagler slowed down a little bit. But Sugar Ray Leonard, after 3 years of exile, of self-imposed retirement, all right, Joshua Turner, good for you, bro, man. I wish you a lot of luck in that. And then anything I can do on here to help you, bro, you let me know, man. You know? But Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler into a tailspin. He never fought again. Sugar Ray Leonard blew his mind. It was a combination of speed. It was a combination of impressing the judges. It went the full 12 rounds, and Sugar Ray Leonard, he had everything going for him. Marvin Hagler wanted this fight. He gave in to a lot of concessions, glove sizes, ring size, purse split, all kind of things. And maybe they got into Hagler's head. I don't know, man. But Hagler was not the Marvin Hagler we had seen before. That was the last fight of the great Marvin Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard, man, he won that WBC middleweight championship. And once again, another belt he never defended. He stayed out of boxing for over a year and a half, and he came back. And he fought. Hey, Punchy, how you doing, my brother? He came back and he fought a cat named Donnie Lalonde. Donnie Lalonde was the WBC light heavyweight champion. And I'm working at a bar at the time, and everybody in the bar, they'd seen Donnie Lalonde. Donnie Lalonde was the golden boy. He had some decent victories. He Leslie Stewart, I believe he fought. He fought Bobby Ches. But anyway, man, Sugar Ray Leonard wanted that light heavyweight title, and the cats in the bar, they're saying, no, he's not gonna win. They were looking at him on past performances, and Donnie Lalonde, a natural light heavyweight. But here's the thing, man. The WBC had their inaugural super middleweight belt on the line for this fight, the vacant belt. The super middleweight belt it's been around for a while. The original was IBF, and they crowned Murray Sutherland as their first champion. Murray Sutherland, it's a little bit of history. He was the first undisputed super middleweight champion. Yeah, well, Chad's working, bro, you know. But Chad understand. I talked to Chad earlier today, bro. He called me up this morning, and you know, that was when Leonard won that fight. We've been through that a million times. Sugar Ray Leonard was just on top of his game. He played Hagler. Hagler was he was outclassed in that fight, and you know, we wanted to see a rematch. A rematch would have been great. Hagler would have been warmed up a little more. He would have known what to expect. But then again, Leonard would, you know, I mean, just when you thought you had the answers, Ray Leonard would change the questions. So I mean, that's the kind of guy that he is. Let me tell you a little bit about this Donnie Lalonde fight. I should have the Toka 2 blazing up over here too, but the day is young. And that Green Dragon is making this a much more pleasurable experience. Not that it isn't anyway, but the Green Dragon. And yeah, man, I was getting people telling me, nah, Lalonde's gonna kill him. That's the golden boy. He's got Leonard outweighed by 15 pounds and da. And these cats had no idea what the super middleweight title was. They're just thinking a straight light heavyweight championship fight. But see, I had faith in Leonard. I saw Leonard pull these unbelievable miracles. I saw him come back with his eyeball was in a slit. He had no peripheral vision. A one-eyed cyclops. He came back and knocked out Thomas Hearns, befuddled Marvin Hagler. But was the underdog in that fight. I saw the same thing happen with Donnie Lalonde. And I was right, man. I must have won $150 on that fight. 25 here, 10 here, 20 here. I cleaned up. They all thought I was crazy. I'd take any bets, man. No problem. Sugar Ray is going to come through. I was in a bad way too, man. I was drugged out at the time. But anyway, a bunch of cats came over my house to watch that fight. I had the black box, a legendary black box. We scrambled anything. And it scrambled this one nicely. We saw the great Sugar Ray Leonard. He came back and he knocked out Donnie Lalonde in the 9th round. Did a job on him. Did a fantastic job on Donnie Lalonde. And we were all. I was high on Sugar Ray Leonard once again a world champion. And Sugar the man. He took a few months off, 6 months, which today is nothing. Back then it was a lot. We didn't know if he was going to come back or not. He came back and he rematched Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns knocked him down twice in the fight. He was knocked down in the 3rd round and the 11th round. I thought he won the fight. I thought it was a clear-cut decision for Thomas Hearns. It was called a split decision draw. I saw that at this. I was working at this social club. I was in charge of the kitchen. I was in charge of the events, and I worked as a bartender too on weekends. And they had one of these big satellite dishes. You remember the things these people used to put them in their backyard? They were about 6 feet long. They were huge. They looked like a flying saucer. But if you had the right person who knew how to work the controls, and this place was right across the street from Raytheon in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. So the Raytheon technicians came in there, and they got that fight in crystal clear. I mean, it was awesome. The place was full. It was 3 deep at the bar. I had the best seat in the house. I told people, between rounds, you'll get your drinks. Aside from that, don't bother me. And nobody did, man. Nobody did. The outcome, I wasn't crazy about. I didn't agree with it, but highly anticipated fight. It was good to see them both back in there for a rematch. And it was rematch season. After that, it was the rematch with Roberto Duran. Another 6 months later, he easily handed Roberto Duran his defeat. That's 2 out of 3 with Roberto Duran. Then Leonard took a couple more years off. He didn't fight to 1990. He came back in 1991. He took on Terry Norris for Terry's super welterweight title. It was a sad fight. Leonard was getting knocked down. He didn't belong in that ring. You know, something was wrong here. Something was wrong. Sugar Ray was not making this comeback. Terry Norris, a tough son of a bitch, man. Tough son of a bitch. This was at Madison Square Garden, and Terry Norris took Leonard wanted to fight at Madison Square Garden. And Leonard took the L. And I thought that's the last we're going to see of Sugar Ray Leonard. That was in 1991. We saw him again in 1997. Sugar Ray Leonard took on Hector Macho Camacho. You know, I thought it was kind of an even fight because Macho seemed to be around forever. Macho's been around since the early 80s, and here we are in the late 90s, almost 20 years later. And Macho's fighting Sugar Ray Leonard, a fight that they proposed years ago, but the weights never gelled. Now they were fighting at middleweight. This is for the IBC. So the IBC, the International Boxing Council. Joe Cortez, one of the greatest refs of all time, ref this fight. Macho Camacho showed no mercy on Sugar Ray Leonard. He had him in speed, he had him in power, coordination. Sugar Ray didn't belong in the ring. For the first time in his career, Sugar Ray Leonard was stopped in the 5th round. Sugar Ray's smart. He never made a comeback after that, man. But you gotta see all the time between his fights. He started his career in 1977. He ended it in 1997. That's the 20-year career. He had 36 victories. He had 3 defeats, and he had 1 draw. He had 25 knockouts, and he was only stopped once. And today's his birthday. So regardless of what you think of him, hey, Scrapbook, my brother, God bless you, man. Thank you for coming by. I hope I didn't make any mistakes in there, Scrapbook, man. I'm honoring my brother Sugar Ray Leonard on his birthday, and I'm just kind of sharing the memories I have with him. And we went through his early career, we went through his amateur career, we went through his comebacks, his great career, man. And it's his birthday today. He's 67 years old. I hope he's around for a while longer because this man is a living legend. If you haven't watched any Sugar Ray Leonard fights lately, man, do yourself a favor. Go watch some of this guy's fights, man. You want to see speed, you want to see accuracy, you want to see a ring general. So God bless Sugar Ray Leonard, man. Happy birthday, brother. Happy 67. Hope to see you around for a few more. I'm out of here. God bless everybody. Peace.